What up, fam? I'm having a pretty good day today. Are you guys having a great day too? I finally got caught up on my work a little bit and had some materials here for another video, so I thought, why not? Let's do one. And I've been kind of testing these today. This is going to be a comparison between vintage Millesime Imperial and the current formulation, or at least a modern formulation, more modern. You know, there's so much batch variation at Creed. You know, I don't even know if I have the modern formulation anymore. I got this a couple years ago, so it's probably changed by now. I mean, it's nuts the way they let that happen. You would think, you know, they would be shooting for consistency. But I guess they figured out they can make a boatload off of these batch variations. So another cash grab. But Annie Hoodles got some vintage 2013, we believe. It's between, let me see what he said. Let's see, he doesn't have the batch code, but this style bottle was used between 2008 2017, and the Gen 1 sprayer began to be phased out in 2013 through 2015. So it's safe to say that this is a 2008 to 2015 batch. The seller bought this bottle with a lot of 2013 bottles, so we think this is from 2013, which is pretty old. How old is that? 13 years? And then this is from a couple of years ago, probably 2023, 2024, something like that. So let's spray and pray. All right, the current formulation. If you could see the dent on this thing, it's probably huge. I don't think you can see through these bottles. Nice sprayer on this decant. All right, so here's the vintage, here's the current, question mark. And let's see what we got. Actually, I've already been testing this on my arm, so I have an idea. And the difference on paper is pretty minimal. They're pretty close, but you can tell there's a difference. I'm going to spray on skin. I already have a spot on my arm where I've sprayed a little while ago. 20 minutes or so. So if you don't know about Millesime Imperial, it's legendary for having poor performance. So a lot of people make a big deal out of these vintage batches because supposedly the performance was better. That's what they say. And I'm going to kind of see if I can determine if that's true or not. And based on the testing I've done today, the longevity is not much better on the vintage bottle. So I'm getting similar longevity. Let's see. I sprayed my hands about over an hour ago, and I tested them at an hour lesson, and came back and checked them, and they were both pretty depleted, basically skin scent at that point. And I could still smell the difference, but the performance did not seem to be much better here with the old formula, as was touted to me. So what about the smell? Well, this, I'm getting a ton of musk, like a ton of musk. This is way muskier. And to be honest, this one smells better. I think this one smells better than that one. The current formulations actually smells better. And from what I can tell, the longevity is not much better. It may be just marginally better, but it's not like enough to go hunt down a 2013 bottle, I don't think. And like I said, I like the way this smells better, so I would actually prefer this one over this. So what is up with Millesime Imperial? Let's talk about it a little bit. Millesime Imperial by Creed. Let's see, it was launched in 95. So it's been around for a minute. It says created by Oliver Creed and Pierre Bourdon, but is Oliver Creed really a perfumer? I'm not sure. So, top notes are sea salt and fruity notes. Middle notes are Sicilian lemon, bergamot, iris, and mandarin orange. And the base notes are sea notes, musk, and woody notes. Millesime Imperial by Creed is a warm and romantic unisex fragrance, evocative of the citrus groves and beautiful seaside landscape of sunny Sicily. This citrus marine scent opens with top notes of fruit and sea salt. Middle notes include lemon, bergamot, iris, and mandarin orange, and the base notes include musk, woody, and marine notes. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, I get the lemon. I think it's not lemony. I'm having to kind of hunt for it a little bit. What is standing out to me are the sea notes, like this marine thing, salty marineness, and musk. Ton of musk. I'm going to move my attention over to the current formulation. I'm going to spray a little more. So I was telling you, there's probably a massive dent in this bottle because when I do wear this, it is like bath time. I'm like spray away, spray all day, applying early and often, and pretty much regularly, over and over. This is definitely behaves kind of like an eau de cologne, and you'll probably apply this every couple hours or so. And that's how I wear it. It does have like maybe a little bit of like funky ambergris type DNA in there, because there is some kind of like oceanic funk, a little bit, that is I really like about this one. When it's warm out, I will hit this stuff pretty hard. I'm a big fan. I don't think you can see through these. They're opaque, but so yeah, it's known as a weak performer, and people seek out the vintage formulas for, better performance. All right. Well, let's read some AI pros and cons. So I'm on Fragrantica, and AI will mine the comments and come up with these pros and cons for each fragrance, and then the users will up and down vote them based on whether they agree. I like to read the pros and cons and react and give my own opinion. So, pros, ideal for summer. Yes, this is definitely summer wear. Not much helpful, right? Not very good for right now. It's about, it's in the negatives. It's below freezing here. So, and it looks like it's going to be below freezing for the next week. So probably not going to be reaching for this anytime soon, but it is kind of like a little nice reminder of the warmer months. Refreshing blend of citrus and marine notes. Yeah, citrus. Like I said, I get a little lemon, but it's mostly for me, it's marine and musk. Expertly balanced and sophisticated composition. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, Creed is Creed for a reason. They make good stuff. It's hard to argue. Even like this new formulation is really good. All right, let's see. Stunning, high quality, fruity, salty aroma. Yeah, it has like a saltiness and fruity, maybe a little. But definitely the salty, you get salty, truly unisex appeal. I never considered a woman wearing this, but why not? I don't think this is particularly that masculine. Per se, I don't know. Maybe a woman could rock this. I'm not sure. I don't know if this is unisex. I'd say it leans masculine, actually. Gets a lot of compliments. I've never gotten a compliment, I don't think, wearing this, but that doesn't mean it doesn't get compliments. It's just, signature salty watermelon note with ambergris dry down. Yeah, okay, so let me see. Watermelon note. I kind of get that, maybe. A little bit of watermelon note, but I do get the ambergris dry down. It seems like, I doubt it's real ambergris, but there's some sort of ambergris type funkiness in the dry down. High quality, natural smelling ingredient palette. Smells pretty high quality. I mean, it definitely doesn't smell cheap. So, it smells really good. Highly versatile for professional office wear. Yeah, this would probably work great in the office. And being that it's like pretty weak, you're probably not going to choke people out. Okay, so here are some cons. We got poor sillage. Yeah, like this is generally a weak performer. Sillage is actually probably not that bad for a short time though, and it dies off pretty fast. Weak projection and longevity for the price. Yeah, I probably agree with that. Definitely weak longevity. And, creeds are just in generally, they're overpriced. Overhyped and overpriced. Yeah, these are overpriced, like I just said, but they come pretty hyped too, honestly. Yeah, these things get hyped. You don't hear a lot of people talking about Millesime Imperial, but, they are popular amongst like influencers and whatnot. Numerous cheaper clones offer better longevity. I'm sure there are some really great clones out there. It seems like you could probably fix the longevity with some, aroma chemical type amber woods and whatnot. I'm sure the cheaper ones do that. So you probably sacrifice some of the quality and get some more syntheticness in there. It's the trade-off for better longevity. All right, frustrating batch inconsistencies and performance variations. Yeah, this is an insane batch variation here. These don't smell very much alike when you compare them. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I would know that this was the same fragrance. This is like hella musky, and this is more oceanic and salty. You get more of like the ocean salty ambergris thing here, and this is more like just like a musk. Let me see. Let me spray it some more. Just like a musk, like a indescript musk. It's kind of what I'm getting there. All right, but the batch inconsistencies are crazy just in general at Creed. It's like every other house strives for consistency, and Creed is just like all over the place. Noticeable quality decline in recent formulations, and that's what they say. That's what they say, and that's what, that's how this decant was sold to me. It was saying, hey, this is the vintage batch. They last longer, and they are better than this current formulation. Well, I'm going to disagree. In this particular situation, between these two, this current formulation smells better and is not that, the longevity is not that much worse. So, all right, well, that is going to be my vintage Millesime Imperial comparison. Yeah. All right, so earlier today I did the giveaway video, so make sure you go and comment on that video if you haven't. So you can win a bottle of Dune. International giveaway. Alright fam, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and punch out now, alright? Y'all have a good one, alright?